Realtors, there are a lot of videos out there talking about how to run Facebook ads, YouTube ads, do this, do that, but nobody seems to talk about this. What do you actually do when your ads stop working? What do you actually do to evaluate the performance of those ads, and how do you optimize? Like, what are the KPIs, right? And honestly, over my journey, I've learned that this is the real stuff that matters, not just copy and pasting a bunch of settings inside Facebook ads, okay? So take a pen and pad, right? Watch this video all the way to the end, leave a like, subscribe so that more realtors can learn the real stuff they need to scale their business, right? This is going to be a real treat. So let's get started now, right? So, like mini agenda. Now, can I explain how to fix something if you don't even know how to look at things, how to view things, okay? So first, structure of the system, right? The structure of the system is going to be ads, backend, and sales. Okay, look at this diagram. Okay, so that's all you need. Super simple. Okay, so behind every type of system that involves paid traffic, paid acquisition, there's not like referrals, organic, whatever. There's a like paid source, and then there's what happens in the backend to turn those leads you get from point A to point Z, the sales, right? And then there's sales, right? What happens when you go to the home, when you deliver your listing presentation, when you drop the CMA, like all those things, right? So in this video, I'm gonna try to really like dive into the whole architecture, right, of the system. So that way, now you have a third part, like now you're able to view everything from a different perspective, and then you can take different actions, okay, instead of just copy and pasting Facebook ads, right? Do not overcomplicate it, okay? So the biggest lesson I learned is from reality transurfing is the solution you're looking for is in front of you. Do not overcomplicate it, right? So again, ads, back in sales, it's all you need all the way to like 6-7 figures, nothing else. Maybe like, of course, if you want like 7 figures, you might add like the last pillar would be like scaling and hiring and etc. But if right now you just want to hit 6 figures and increase your get a few more deals per month with your marketing, you don't even need to worry about hiring. You can just master those 3 pillars, 10 out of 10 on each. Do not overcomplicate it, okay? So, and ads are 25%. That's the main thing I learned over my journey. Ads are really 25%. Nothing like there's nothing further from the truth that like ads are like 7. Ads are everything. Ads are super important. Like yes, ads are important, but if you actually think about it, right? Ads just get people to click. There's not a huge deal, right? They just clicked, so it doesn't matter, right? All it matters is the experience they have with you. Why are you different from all these other realtors out there advertising the same offer and the same thing? And that's the thing about real estate, because you cannot have such a crazy offer like buy your home. Like yes, you can, but it's like you cannot have such a crazy offer. So you gotta find ways to differentiate yourself, right? For example, for my clients, watch the video I made about how to use video to get listings, because video is a huge way to differentiate yourself right now nowadays, right? But also at the same time, right? If you just do the bait and switch everybody's doing right now, like we'll text you your valuations, right? We'll text you evaluation right now. And then you call them after 3 days, right? Like, of course they're pissed off. Number one, they don't even remember they requested that. And number two, like, you just literally told them, hey, I'm going to text you evaluation, a report that's ready, right? And now you're calling them, right? So don't do that. Doesn't work. You're just going to get angry folks on the phone, okay? Then ads. When it comes to ads, why are they not working? The main topic, the reason why you click on this video, probably because your ads, you're running ads, and now you don't understand why they're not working, right? So to get an idea of really the basis, right? Go watch the first video I ever made on YouTube. Just go watch that. And it kind of talks about the way I run ads for my clients and for myself for my own business, right? But that video is specifically about real estate. But still, what are the main KPIs? I mean, I guess most of you are probably running Facebook ads because that's where everybody starts. Honestly, that's what I recommend for my clients too. Is the best way to start is with that, because that's gonna really test the systems you have in the backend. Like, okay, setting processes, okay, sales, test those, and then you can go on Google and spend like $1,000 a day for sure. That's the goal. But if you just start with Google and then your sales are not like, or maybe your setting process, or maybe your backend systems are not like 100%, 10 out of 10. Again, like just remember those 3 pillars, right? And if ads are only 25%, do not overthink the ads part. The people who want to sell are on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google. It doesn't matter, right? Anybody who's telling you, hey, like, you know, there's this new platform and top audience of sellers go on Facebook, YouTube, and Google because people just go there. It's not that deep, right? And again, they just clicked. Only matters what happens after, right? Or really, that's what I learned over my journey, right? And so to get an idea, just watch that video. But now, what are the main KPIs, okay? So the main KPIs are, number 1, link CTR, talking about Facebook, right? Link CTR, CTRO, opt-in rate, conversion rate, and that's it, okay? So link CTR. So if your link CTR is low, you need to change your headline, okay? But at the same time, okay, CTRO, creative copy, right? So how many people clicked on the thing and engaged with the ad. Like if that is low, like you need to change your creatives, because that means like people just, you know, passing through, not even stopping by, right? And so you need to change that, right? People are not clicking, right? You need to think about, okay, like what are they what's going wrong with my creatives? And the biggest mistakes I made with the creatives is overthinking, saying, again, the solution you're looking for is in front of you. If you think, oh, this creative here is gonna change everything, but then like you realize that it doesn't matter. Literally, like the most basic creative is gonna do better than a video creative. Why? Because the audience who are targeting are home sellers, not sophisticated at all, right? So you don't overthink the creative part, and then all the rest is crap, right? So opt-in rate, sorry about that, opt-in rate. So you need to, you know, simple, like pretty much opt-in rate. How many people who go on your landing page actually become leads, or conversion rate if you're losing lead forms. Highly recommend you don't use lead forms. If you don't know how to make a landing page, use those, but the quality is going to be lower because it takes less time to complete and become leads, right? So that's it. Those are the main KPIs. Focus on those. Now, again, if your opt-in rate is low, just make your landing page better. And again, just take inspiration from what others are already doing that's winning, right? There are tons of ads out there, and you can look at them, and at the same time with the landing pages, take what's working and implement this, right? A trick, just go and find the ads that's the oldest, right? And then basically kind of copy what's working for them in the beginning, and then over time you're able to assess and test, okay? And later I'm going to explain what's the feedback loop there, okay? But then all the rest is crap. And CPL, cost per lead, everybody's talking about cheap leads, but cheap leads don't matter, because what's really causing the cost per lead is like are all these metrics, okay? Like literally cost per lead is like almost like a vanity metric. Yes, it's cool, like you got a low cost per lead, but you know, if again, cost per lead is going to be dependent on all these metrics. So focus on this, and then cost per lead is going to naturally follow, right? So time frame to make decisions, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days. Again, I'm trying to make this video as simple as possible because you don't need to overthink this stuff. If you're making changes every day, you're going to fail, okay? But let me touch on this real quick. So how you make changes: action, feedback, fix, action, feedback, fix, okay? So action, you change your creative. Feedback, you wait 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, fix, okay? It's working, you declare that as a winner. That's it. Don't overthink it, making it simple, right? And so right now, if you actually overthink this, you're gonna basically make too many changes, lose track of that. What I recommend, just open a Google Doc like this and call it ads change log, and keep track of every little change you make to the ads. Otherwise you're gonna get lost, okay? So again, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days. What I highly recommend is you wait at least 7 days for changes who are gonna have quite a huge impact. But if your ads are not getting leads in like 5 days, you can actually say, okay, cool, ads are not working. Let me change something, because like if you get 0 leads in like a week, even though sometimes some weeks are slow, you should really say, hey, cool, if this week if like for the past 2 weeks ads have been going down, let me change something, right? So I want to recommend you wait at least 7 days before making a decision, right? And again, do not be emotional, right? Follow this, right? Tracking. Now I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna share with you a cool resource that I'm gonna give you in the comments to you guys. If you actually drop a comment, and I'll give it to you, what you need to track, okay? So now I'm gonna basically show you what you track specifically, and all the metrics, and basically every Sunday, what you need to do, sit down 2 hours, just write down right now on your calendars, 2 hours, look at the tracking, evaluate what you need to change, okay? So I'm gonna share with you this resource right now, okay? So look at this, right? Look at this. So we got October, we got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, right? We got all the metrics. Now this includes phone appointments, in-person appointments, leads to call percentage, calls face-to-face, total transactions, lead to value lead percentage, value leads, total number of leads, right? Guys, this is the holy grail. Like, this is everything you need to track. So just take this resource I'm gonna give you and just copy it, right? It's super simple. Every Sunday, 2 hours, you take down. In the future, I might automate this part, but just take all these metrics. Every Sunday, sit down and analyze it. Okay, like this is going well, this is going bad, and over time you can improve the metrics. Okay, so again, drop a comment below and I'll give it to you. Okay, pretty simple. I mean, again, these are all the metrics I briefly explained earlier, and then basically here, these are more like backend metrics: how many phone appointments, how many in-person appointments, etc. But pretty simple again. So now, when it comes to the backend, right? These are the KPIs you should have, right? In KPIs in mind, right? 50 leads, 15, 20 conversations, and then out of those 15, 20 conversations, at least 5 appointments in person and at least 1 close, okay? So I'm gonna show you what's going wrong if one of these is off. So for example, let's say you are, let's say, okay, leads is, you know already what to touch if you're not getting leads. So again, come back to this metrics, okay? What's causing you to not get leads? Okay, maybe my link CTR is low, maybe opt-in rate is low. I guarantee one of these is not working. I guarantee it, okay? Now, again, so let's say 15, 20, you got 5, right? Let's say out of the 50, you got 5 conversations. What's going wrong? Are you calling all the leads, right? Are you doing everything in your power to do that? Or maybe our leads are real numbers, right? If you're going here and lead to value leads is like, let's say 66%. Now this is a dummy metrics, but let's say it's like 66%. That's cool. But if it's like 20%, then you got a problem there, right? Again, if you track your stuff, it's impossible things don't work because you know exactly what to fix. And people don't share this, but that's the real game. Like, that's the real game. It's so simple, guys, right? So again, if out of the 15, 20, maybe what's going wrong? Maybe like you go ahead, many phone appointments, but not many in person, right? So maybe, maybe you're high no-shows, right? Why? Tight answer at the end. Did you pre-frame the appointment? Did they know exactly? Did you send reminders? You have an automated, solutions are easy once you understand what's the problem. Does that make sense? So that's the biggest thing, understanding what is the problem, right? Now, calls after 5 minutes, right? So that's the biggest thing. I'm going to give you the schedule here. If you don't follow this schedule, it doesn't work. That's the literal schedule I gave to all my clients, right? Please follow these to the teeth, okay? Day 1, you need to call 3 to 4 times. If you don't, it's not going to work. Why? Because the first 24 hours are the most important. If you just call them once after 16 hours, your ads are never going to work, honestly, right? You need to call them after 5 minutes. Really, no excuses. My clients, if they're busy, they just call them, say, hey, look, I'm busy, can I call you back? If you don't do it and you're lazy, your ads are not going to work, okay? So day 2, 2 calls. Day 3, 2 calls. Day 4, 2 calls. Again, morning, afternoon. Day 5, 2 calls. Day 6, you drop the CMA. Day 7, and if you want a video about that, I can show you how we do it essentially with our clients. Day 7, Facebook and Instagram text. Day 8, call number 1. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so basically, right, that's so simple. Just follow this. I'm gonna give you this document description. Just follow this to the teeth for every lead, right? And if you don't, it's not gonna work, right? Nothing to explain. Super simple. Again, I'm trying to really make it simple with this video because, in my opinion, this stuff, if you actually do everything you need to do, becomes really easy. Becomes really easy to just have a few deals more in per month, right? So CRM, right? If you don't have it, impossible. If you have a spreadsheet, if you use spreadsheets and you're generating some Facebook ads leads, like it's not gonna work. So right now, like whatever CRM doesn't matter, right? Depending on your budget, you can choose what CRM you want to use, but CRMs ultimately don't matter, right? What matters is the processes behind the scenes. So do not overthink this. Again, simple, right? Setting processes, you need to have everything, like you need to have specific setting processes on what happens after you call every single lead. And here are the three main key elements behind setting processes, okay? Number one, schedule, right? The one I just gave you. If you don't follow it, I gave you the one for the first 7 days, but then it's very simple. Like you can adjust, like, you know, maybe call them 2-3 times a week, right? And then, you know, maybe send them a text after a while. Like, I cannot give you the whole schedule I give to my clients, but the first 7 days are the most important. So I just dropped you that. I think it's super valuable. And then here are the three main key elements, again, behind setting processes. So number one, schedule. Number two, script testing. So again, like I said earlier, right? When it comes to the ads, it's action, feedback, fix. So even here, right? With the script, if your script does not working, you do not change your script after every call. Otherwise, that's what I learned for myself. That's a huge mistake I make when I used to cold call in the beginning. And I still do some cold calls now. But basically, or even when I call the leads from the ads, leads they come in inbound, right? Inbound leads. When or sometimes maybe like whatever, when I have to talk to people, right? Maybe on Zoom, whatever, or maybe when my clients, they have to call the leads, right? They change the script every call. And that's the worst thing you can do, because then you're going to get lost. Because after 5 calls, you change the script 5 times. Now you don't know what was working before. It's like, okay, what do I do now? And then you're stuck, right? So to avoid this, right, what I do for myself, right, is this. Action, okay? I change the script. I change one line, one thing at a time. That's the key. I'm going to write it down now. One thing at a time, right? And then if you want me to give you a script, comment below, and I'll make you a video about the script we gave to our clients. Again, dropping too much sauce in this video too. But basically, the third thing is tracking, right? So I'm going to give you another resource, tracking setting, okay? So let's analyze this. Cool. So you basically need to just duplicate this, and you'll find all the key metrics you need to know when you're calling the lead. So if your dials per lead are like 2 in a week, then you know you're not following the schedule, because according to the schedule, your dials per lead should be 12, right? And so if your dials per lead are not 12, you know what's the problem, okay? Again, the whole point, the real reason why I'm making this video is just to show you that the biggest thing is not about the information, is about knowing what problems to solve, and then with your own brain, you can come up with solutions, depending on what's the problem specifically to you or your business, okay? This applies to everything, okay? So, again, what I was gonna say is, okay, let's analyze real quick this tracking. Is total leads, how many leads, how many dials per lead. Okay, so let's say this metrics is low. Okay, you need to work harder, right? Dials per day. So if your dials per day, right, that's going to be depending on the leads you get, right? Pickups. So how many pickups, right? And honestly, I don't even track the pickup rate, because honestly, real estate is irrelevant. Okay, if your pickups are 0, maybe your number is going to spam, but typically if you're calling your leads from your phone, you shouldn't have like a low pickup rate or anything like that, right? And then meaningful conversations. So out of these dials, how many meaningful conversations at least over like 3 minutes, right? If they just showed you, hey man, I'm not interested right now, that's not a conversation, okay? So out of those, how many dials per conversation, okay? So again, there's a formula here that's... for example, here, dials conversation was 1, and so 3%. How many appointments, right? Dials per appointment. So how many people I called, how many times I called people, right? And how many appointments, and then lead per appointment, okay? So again, if you come back to the metrics I gave you earlier, right? You can track this, okay? So 50 leads, 15-20 conversations, 15-20 conversations, that's like
25-30% of 50 leads, right? So if dials per
if dials per conversation, right, leads per conversation is lower, then you know what to fix, right? And again, this is pretty, like, even dials per appointment, right? If dials per appointment is lower, you have a problem with your script. If lead per appointment is low, right? Then, I mean, lead per appointment honestly is just a general metric, but it's not the real metrics here. Dials per appointment to understand your script, right? And dials per conversation. So that's gonna be, okay, how many people I call? Maybe some of them, they have the wrong phone number, not real, and so that's not gonna be a conversation, right? Again, every metric is gonna solve a problem. And then here, super important, show rate, right? You gotta track this, because I found out, like, really help my clients overcome this problem is when these guys don't show up. The reason why is that you end the call like this. Okay, John, cool, talk to you tomorrow at 3. Cool, have a good day, bye-bye. Okay, if you end the call like this, they're not gonna show up. The way you need to end the call is with the tie down, right? So, hey, aside from, like, being taken by the aliens, could you please let me know if anything comes up before our call tomorrow at 2? This is a golden nugget here. Take this down, write this down right now, tie downs at the end, and then pre-frame your appointment. So basically, yeah, I'm gonna be on my way, like, I'm gonna already, like, be out there for a client. I'm gonna just come real quick 5 minutes and have a quick walk through the property, and then that way I'll give you an accurate number, right? Recap the appointment and tie downs. Write this down. Number 1, tie downs. Number 2, recap the appointment, right? These 2 things are gonna improve your show rate, right? And then appointments closed, that's going to be sales only. So your listing presentation, and then later I'm going to talk about sales, and then lead per close. Again, general metrics, just to have an idea, okay? Now, so schedule, and then script, and then tracking, and then again, if you're watching this, go below and you find this sheet, Google Sheet, okay? Now, prioritization. When it comes to that, main criteria to prioritize the leads. Every CRM is different. Okay, now, if they came in 0 to 7 days ago, all of your attention should go to those leads, okay? And then if you have more time, dial the others. All the others don't matter until all the 0 to 7 day leads are done, okay? So I'm gonna write this down now. Actually, I forgot about this. 0 to 7 days. Then actions, okay? Actions, so for example, they open an email today, boom, you need to dial them. Link triggers, right? There's a cool feature in our app. If it essentially, like, let's say they go to our site, right? If they go to our site, right, we can actually track that, receive a notification, call them, okay? But actions is like they open an email, boom, notification, we call them while they're reading our email. That's gonna be like, imagine they see your name, let's say John Castillo, right, calling, and then they see your name, and then they're reading your email at the same time on their phone, like it's just, or on their, maybe on their computer, they're reading your email, and then they call, like they pick up the phone, like it's just, it's a lot easier to have an actual conversation if they're just reading your email right now, right? So bonuses, real quick, notifications, right? When it comes to that, what I'm saying is that if right now you don't have a way to have like instant fast notifications, I hope everybody has this nowadays, but I'm still including it because that's a principle you need to apply. What I'm saying in this video is stuff that's like, it's like you need to apply everything is in here if you want to get results, okay? It's not like you can miss bits and pieces, because if, for example, if you apply everything but you don't have notifications, how the hell are you gonna call the leads after 5 minutes? You can't, right? And again, once you know the problem, okay, I need to set up the notification, at least for myself. Once I know the problem, it's a lot easier for me to come up with a solution. For example, hey, I need to set up notifications. Let me Google this. Let me ask ChatGPT about it. You can find a solution, right? And now messaging is, when it comes to the messaging, now, again, every CRM is different. Not going to cover this a lot. If you want to learn more about this, like CRM, backend stuff, I just want to give you like a general overview in this video. Go to video number 2 I made. That's about our backend system, okay? Sales, real quick. I don't want to talk too much about sales today. And honestly, I don't want to talk too much about sales right now, since I want to have a realtor talk about sales, right? Honestly, because, I don't personally sell real estate, but I help my realtors, of course, on the phone, because that's the thing I've done. But I cannot talk about, hey, like go at the home, deliver the listing presentation. Like I can talk about the based of my studies, but on this video I just try to talk about the stuff that I'm really honing in for myself. So I don't want to dive too deeper into this, right? I have one of my realtors talk about sales in one video, right? I think I already released one video about sales being by one of my realtor 20 years of experience. But anyway, 2 resources that really help me understand sales in with these leads, okay? Because honestly, like if your referrals are a total different word than this word, okay? So 2 Nights for Sales by Barry Jenkins, Brian Casella, listing presentations. Two resources, again, really simple. The biggest mistake you can make is have 10 channels with 10 different styles and then try to take from each. Instead, focus on these 2 people, master these, and then move on, right? So if you just follow everything that I showed you here, your ads should start working, right? But if you please don't miss bits and pieces. That's the key. Follow all the resources I gave you below. Drop a comment if you want our tracker, right, with all these metrics here, and I'll give you this doc in the description too. So hope you find this valuable. I just try to make a real video about the real problems, not some cool Facebook ads just to get some views. So I know people find this valuable, and leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you inside our next video.